All right, everybody, it's time to get excited about NBA. Just as a preface to this video, this is going to be a technical video that goes through the NBA algorithm file and understanding what the macro does in this file and how we test out certain distributions. Very technical video. It's not really a video for people that are just like, hey, Ken, what are the picks for the day? That's not what this video is about. This video is about people who are wanting to purchase the NBA algorithm, which, by the way, it's only 50 bucks. I actually lowered it to 50 bucks basically. And you'll get an email from me every day from now until the end of October. And we'll go over everything you need to do day to day to get this thing updated. So this video is for those people, but it's really cool. I mean, especially numbers folks out there. The macro is awesome, and we're going to get into how you adjust the pivot table to test out different distributions. This is a lot of fun. So let's get into it. All right. First of all, we had a night last night, and we used a combo number 68, meaning we used this distribution of stats right here over to the left. We used steals a lot. We used blocks a lot. We used win-loss percentage, total points per game, stuff from last season. This is all based on last season stats. This is the thing we went with, and it won both games. The Nuggets won, and the Suns won. And let's refresh our injury report, by the way. We have a new injury report. Let's do this. Let's get rid of blanks also. Okay, so what we did was we won both games and we had projected scores of those games. We said it was going to be the Nuggets over the Lakers 117 to 115. They ended up winning 119 to 107. And then we had the Suns beating the Warriors by about a point, and they won by 4 points. Okay. So that's pretty good. I mean, it's 2 wins, and our points were okay. They obviously weren't the exact score, but they were pretty close, especially this Denver Nuggets game. We're only off by about 1.2 points on what the Nuggets point up. So that's pretty good, all based off last season's stats. Now, we have picks for today, all right, at this combination string. I've already brought in this. This is all based off last season's stats. Come on now. Sometimes the mouse gets all screwed up because I'm doing too much on the computer, but let's see here. Nope. Right there. The 25th. This is the raw projection so far for the day, meaning we have the Mavericks as our #1 margin pick over the Spurs, and they're only minus 162 up here. Then we have the Heat over the Pistons, but the odds makers also have a huge favorite for the Heat as well. We have the Hawks over the Hornets, Celtics over the Knicks, Magic over the Rockets, and we don't see an underdog at all on here. Unbelievable. Not one underdog on here. But notice that the Grizzlies and Pelicans have significant injuries in both of these teams here. But this is really, 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 really early on, right? So I wouldn't totally trust everything. But seeing something like the Mavericks over the Spurs up here at a good line, like that's probably the pick of the day. If you had to go with anything, would be the Mavericks. But let's learn about how to get this to do some amazing things. So this is just the raw prediction based on last season with this one distribution. How do we test distributions? How do we know if this is the distribution we want to use? This distribution number 68. I'm going to show you how to do that. So go into the cube sheet. And in the cube sheet, we have an area of all the games that we want to test. We're going to test all the 100 different distributions we have on all the games we want to test. So the first thing we need to do in order to do that is we need to adjust the cube history, meaning what area are we going to do our testing on? We want to do our testing on all of the games that have happened and are going to happen today. That means basically what we have that we would be testing on if we don't do anything is we're just testing on this rectangle. That's not what we want to test on. We want to test on this entire rectangle right here. So in order to change that, you're going to go up to Data, actually, sorry, you're going to go up to formulas. You're going to go to formulas. You're going to go to name manager, and you're going to go to cube history, and you're going to edit the range here. And the cube history needs to go down to row 31, Z31. That's the bottom row here, is this 31. Press the check mark and then OK. Close. Now the cube history is going to be the correct area. See how it's this area now? That's exactly what we want the cube history to be. Now that we've set the cube history range, remember you do that by going to formulas name manager and you adjust the cube history. Now we get to have some fun. Now we're going to run a macro and we're going to do some testing. Okay. No, we're not going to answer the phone. So in order to do that, we go to view, we go to macro, view macro, and we run this full 500 and boom shakalaka, it's going to start doing its thing. And what it's doing is it is testing all 100 combinations of different distributions one at a time. And it is creating a data set that tests all these distributions against the cube history, which is the 2 games that already happened on Tuesday and all those games that are happening today on Wednesday. And I'm going to show you how we're going to break apart those games and do some analysis to figure out what combination string we would like to use. And also, as this completes, it only takes a couple minutes, not even, it's like about a minute or two because there's only 100 combinations. But we're also going to look and say that like an average of all the combinations, it's going to give us an order of the most likely team to win based on a broad average of all the different combinations. So if you don't want to use just one, but you want to use the mean average of all of them or the regressive average of all of them, you're going to see what that is as we adjust the pivot table. And it gives you a lot of intelligence about which team the stats most likely say has, the greatest advantage. And also we're going to start testing out different scores as well. So we're up to combo number 77, 78, 79. We're going to get to 100. And once it gets to 100, it's going to stop. And then I'm going to show you how we analyze the compare pivot sheet. And getting close to being done. This really doesn't take that long. But as you have more history and more game history in here, and you add more cube history, the data set becomes larger. So you might not want to do this analysis on every single game for the season because your file size is going to grow and become way too big, even just a few weeks into the season. So you might just want to do one day at a time. So compare pivot, go into the compare pivot sheet now that macro has run, and you refresh. And boom. Okay, so what's showing up and what do we do here? Well, first of all, let's start with yesterday being the 24th. So over here in this date area, we're going to click on the 24th. And what you're seeing in this pivot table, what's popping up is an expanded view of each one of the combinations and how it did. So it's saying that combination 47 had the Nuggets winning, and they did win. And what is this 1290? This is record ID. It had them beating the Lakers. It had a margin of about 0.0. So here's what we're going to do. So we're going to collapse this, expand, collapse entire field. And it's going to average the margin together. And what we're going to do is we are going to, so we've got 2 wins. No, we've got 2 wins on just these combinations. Okay, so these are the only combinations that won both games yesterday. There were 28 of them. Combo number 47, combo number 86, I'm seeing that by win by projected margin of victory is 100%. Okay. So how does that translate? Like, what do I mean? What am I talking about? Combo number 47 was a win. Here's how you can check that. Let's go back to the results pivot sheet, put in combo number 47, look at yesterday and refresh. Combo number 47 ended up having this being 117 to 115 and 116 to 100, right? Like this is what combo number 47 resulted in, okay? Combo number 47 was a slightly different distribution than the one that we were using. What about combo number 86? Combo number 86, if you put that up here and refresh, you see that margins slightly change, scores slightly change. See how our score actually gets to 119 now. Score just changed to 118.6. So the score is almost exactly correct. It actually does round to being exactly correct. But it has this game being almost a tie, the Suns Warriors game. So all of a sudden you can start to see what the different combinations did. Well, we want to look at things other than win by projected margin of victory. We want to look at actual margin of victory. Okay, we're going to grab actual margin of victory and bring this into our values column. And we are going to average this. Okay. We're going to change the summarized values by average. Okay. And what that is showing is it's showing like basically what I want it to do is I want it to say, all right, we want to get the points or the margin of victory between the two teams to be exactly what it was. Okay. And what I mean by that is, for example, we have on this day, we've got a bunch of different teams, right? We had the Nuggets. When we click just the Nuggets, it has them winning by 12 all the way down. Every single projection has them winning by 12, huh? Is that right? Average margin of victory, 12. I want to see if the margin of victory was ever different. That doesn't seem right, does it? The margin of victory did not look like it was 12. The margin, oh, sorry, the actual margin of victory is 12. We want the projected margin of victory. Ah, that's what we want. We want the projected margin of victory, not the actual margin of victory. So let's remove, well, let's start looking around. Do we have projected margin of victory in here? Points for, yeah, we do. We do have projected margin of victory. It's right here. Win percentage by projected margin of victory. This, let's try this again. We want average of projected margin. Here we go. Here we go. Average of projected margin of victory. That's what we wanted. Summarize values by. Oh, well, let me do that. Just lets me sum it together. Okay, so I know we're looking kind of clunky in this video, but trust me, we're learning. So projected margin of victory. What we're going to do here is we had all the Nuggets games. We want the one that's closest to 12. So more sort options descending by projected margin of victory. Are any of these close to 12? This one was 6. Combo number 36 had a 6-point differential in this game. So what does combo number 36 look like? Combo number 36 has this game as 119 to 113, and they won 119 to 107. It has the other game as 116 to 116, so it has the other game being closer, which was a 4-point game. But these points are better. All right, do you see what we just did? Is we found a game like this combination worked pretty good. This combination 36. Average. So this was the actual margin of victory. Okay. Average of actual margin of victory for each game. So for the Nuggets game, they won by 12, and here the Warriors lost by 4, right, to the Suns. All right. So what we just did is we started to analyze through this table to find combination strings that worked pretty good. As of right now, I'm going to go with this combo number 36 for today, right? Which still has the Mavericks on top, by the way. That's good to know. Now, let's do something else. Let's go to today and let's sort this. Yep, very cool. Okay, watch this. Let's go, and instead of using the combo string, let's use the team on top. Yep, here we go. This is what I wanted to look at. Basically, before I shrink this, what this is showing you is this is saying that the Mavericks, and this is all the different combination strings where we have the Mavericks winning and by how many points we have them winning by over here. Okay. So we've got the Mavericks winning by 19, by 18, by 18, all the way down to winning by 4 in a lot of these combination strings. That's all 100. We have the Mavericks winning in every single combination string that exists in this file. We cannot get a combination string that doesn't predict the Mavericks winning. And it won't let us do this by average, but that's okay. So guess what, everyone? This is the weighted average of all of the teams and the order that we think will win. Now, is this order the same as what we are seeing in our combination string? I know I'm going kind of fast, but this does make sense. Meaning, here's our teams in our order. Okay? Like, here's the weighted average, and here's what our combination is. Like Mavericks, good. They're on top. So the Mavericks are a huge pick today, according to the algorithm. Like the Mavericks are supposed to win. The Heat next, the Hawks next, the Magic next, the Celtics next, Clippers, Cavs, Memphis, Sacramento, Toronto, Washington. And you can see here we have some mixture where some of these teams might win and some of them might not win. All the way down. Yep, that makes sense. And you've got the Grizzlies injured. So it's really all of these games. These are your really strong games. Dallas, Miami, Atlanta, Orlando, Celtics, Clippers. Cavs are injured here. So watch out for this. Pistons are also injured, but keep in mind, this is all based on last year's stats. So I know I went kind of fast and it sounds convoluted, but we just learned a lot today, basically. And it becomes easier to do this and analyze this the more stats we get in here. But this macro and this pivot are going to allow you to do crazy things and really get a nice weighted average look. You get to see these huge average margin percentages. These are enormous. Like these 4 teams on a parlay really should probably do very well. Very well. And these are really toss-up games down here. Like the Pacers apparently could win that game. Right? Yep. The Wizards and Pacers right here. So, all right. I know the video is really kind of choppy, but I want to show you how quick it is to run the macro and how you can start messing with it and have it give you intelligence, because we're using combo number 36 because that worked well yesterday. But you really want to also look at the average of all combinations, because this gives you a much better idea of where the algorithm is pointing towards strength and how strong it thinks a team is. Because normally you're going to look at this by combo number or combo name or combo number, and it's going to give you, an order like this. but you can also sort it by team and get a better idea. So chunky video, clunky video, but NBA is here. It's $50. You'll get an email from me every day till the end of the month. You'll watch me bring in things like new stats, which don't work yet because we only have 4 teams in here. It's not gonna work. Yeah, it doesn't work yet because we don't have enough current season stats. We're still all completely based off last season. And that's the way it's going to be until, I guess, tomorrow. But it looks like every single team, I believe, is playing a game either yesterday or today. So that means we can start to bring in current season stats tomorrow on Thursday and start using those simulations as well and run the macro based on current season stats and last season stats tomorrow and look at both of them. All right. So go Mavericks. Good luck, everybody. If you want to purchase a copy of the NBA algorithm, it's a winner. I mean, basketball is the easiest sport to predict of all the algorithms, college basketball being the best, but NBA is a close second. So I feel more confident giving you these type of algorithms that, as you can see, they do things like this, like day one, you win both games. Right. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. I was like, yeah, Nuggets are going to win. Yeah, Nuggets won. Not a problem. And I was like, this is a toss-up game. And it was a toss-up game, but the Suns managed to win. So good luck, everybody. Go Dallas. You know, your picks be winning.